Okay. I'm here with Gianni in Zurich to talk about lithium. Gianni, it's great to see you here in person. I want to talk to you about the lithium market. The price has dropped significantly. What's going on? Is lithium demand continuing to rise? Is it softening? Give us some insight. What's going on?
Well, I'm gonna assume you're a speculator, Peter, and people that follow your program and that are participating in these kind of, they're not investments, they're speculations. So right now, is it time to speculate in lithium? So the price of lithium has went from 80,000 to 20,000. And people are wondering, are some of these projects even economic? Where's the demand? Is demand been eroded to the point where maybe lithium is not as interesting as people once thought? Or is it a time to speculate? And to do a report card on the actual where's the stuff used, I think that's very important, very timely, because it is, I think, a very, very interesting speculation. Still always, the demand of lithium is going to go from the bottom left to the upper right of your screen. And if you're following these things, you'll be current and you'll know, you'll get a barometer of it. And I think it's going to be still for the next decade, it's going to be a good speculation.
So there's a lot of interest in lithium exploration. You see a lot of companies trying to go out and look. I've even seen gold explorers who have stopped exploring for gold, looking for lithium. What's happening in the exploration side? Are we seeing enough investment going in there to satisfy the mandated demand for this green energy economy? What is happening on the supply side?
Well, there's two important questions to ask yourself as a speculator in lithium. Where's the lithium going to come from? And is that changing, exploration? And where's the demand going to come from? And you need to do a sort of understanding. Basically, it's going to be the growth of electric vehicles. But your question directly was, where is the future of lithium going to come from? Traditionally, lithium has come from those salars that everyone has seen. Evaporation takes place over 12 and 18 months. That's South America. We're talking Chile, we're talking Argentina. It also comes from hard rock mining, which has your classic open pit footprint. It would look the same as a gold or a copper operation, and that would be spodumene or the hard rock type of lithium. But now there are many thousands of people working towards direct lithium extraction. This is where a company would go to a reservoir that has salty, briny water. They would pump up this, what has lower concentrations of lithium. It would go through a chemical process, and after through one or two processes, it would end up as a high-quality lithium product to go into the battery of the future. I'm speculating that that is, in fact, the way that big industry is going to address what I believe is going to be significant demand growth for lithium. It's not going to be able to come from conventional operations. The salars, simply because they're not going to get the governmental sort of approvals to do that. Hard rock mining, it's no different. It's going to be just as difficult in all those other areas to get permitting. The footprint is larger, the timelines are also longer, and the capex is the same as any other process. So I believe there's going to be a propensity and a will for companies to want to do direct lithium extraction. And there are a few large reservoirs. Alberta would be known as one of the largest. There are a couple companies, including the one that I started, LithiumBank, 18 months ago. Paul Matisik is my executive chairman. And we're following what the big companies are doing. We do not have the manpower. We don't have these hundreds and thousands of people, scientists and technology people, that are working these chemical processes. Because once they solve that Rubik's Cube, I mean, it does work, it is working, but once it's really commercially viable with various different chemistries of various different types of brine deposits, why would you go anywhere else? It doesn't make sense. And they're looking for these big projects that can give them a 50-year sort of footprint or 50-year type of project, ideally in a good jurisdiction.
And that's a big issue, jurisdiction. We have more and more issues. Where is most of lithium coming from now? Is there more issues in sourcing that from risky jurisdictions? And is there enough money going in to satisfy electric, with all the electrical vehicle demand, are they coming from sources or enough friendly sources out there to feed this?
Well, I think we've already seen the propensity for Chile, which is the world's largest producer, to not permit anything. It used to be known, used to brag about that, we're in Chile. That's not been the case in the past sort of 5, 10, 15 years. And they've already told the market, they said, we are not going to approve, ad infinitum, more and more expansions and more new projects with respect to these salars. Argentina also, similar to that. And even so, even if they do approve those few projects, if we're going to grow 10x, going from 300,000 tons to 2 million and 3 million tons of demand, and the demand will be there because of the take-up of the vehicle. I mean, I don't lose any sleep about that. It's going to have to come from hard rock projects and this new technology. But when? Picture in the theater of your mind that these thousands of people have, it's millimetrical progress, but as they achieve this, why would you do anything else? It's just the footprint is so much smaller, and more importantly, it's immediate. When you're evaporating for 12 and 18 months, through DLE, it's the same day. The water's pumped up, you increase the grade, because they are lower of grade, but once that grade is increased, and you have the right porosity, that's also a geological factor you must have, it's a benefit, then now that the grade has been pumped up, and then long as you can run that higher grade through that second process, that is the holy grail. And there's an analogy for this, Peter. When they started to do horizontal fracking for oil and gas, this was the matching of two companies. It was Mitchell Energy and Devon Energy, and they put together this horizontal fracking. They started with gas, they moved into oil, and they cracked that code. And of course, we saw the production numbers skyrocket. They reinvented the wheel. So what did Exxon do? They bought from the Bass family in West Texas, their portfolio for $6.5 billion. It only had 18,000 barrels of oil production, paid $6.5 billion. Why? Projects. And they knew over the next 20, 30, 40 years, they can continue to run that operation. And that is what our speculation is, that we will be successful in de-risking the project to have parameters, but then the big company is going to want to have it with a good partner, and they're the ones that are going to go and develop it and spend the big capex.
That's a very interesting approach. Is this a private company? Are you public? How can people find out more information?
We IPO'd on April 1st of 2022, which is the exact day that the market kind of rolled over, volumes disappeared, and all shares, but in particular lithium shares, collapsed. Not the best time to IPO, but we had lots of cash. We raised money a year before that at $1.50. Shares went down to 70 cents, came back up, and every time our stock went higher, we did a capital raise. We raised money at $1.90 a share in May. And just recently, me and my partners, Paul Matisic's my executive chairman, as I mentioned, about 3 weeks ago, we raised money at $1. And in this negative market environment, but we got lots of cash. We're working forward. We've got 5 major sort of news items that are going to take place between now and sort of the February, March of next year. It's November. So that's good. I think that's a good speculation. And low share count, lots of cash, and a motivated team, lots of insider ownership.
Exciting. Well, I saw the success you had with CopperBank. All the best with LithiumBank. Gianni, thank you very much for the insights and update.
Thank you. Nice to catch up.
Likewise.